Hey everyone, and welcome to my next video. Today it's gonna be on the ASUS ROG Ally. I'm not gonna give you like a full tech review with benchmarks and so on and so on. I'm just gonna tell you about my first impressions on the device so that you can kind of think about the reasons why you should or shouldn't buy it. These are the things I like and these are the things I dislike. So let's get into it. Let's first talk about the packaging. You will get a 40-watt-hour charger, and what's great about the charger is that you also get a pretty long cord, so I was able to like use this through the whole living room. So I was like on the one end, and on the other end I had the power outlet, so that's a plus. And besides that, I think that there is nothing special about the packaging. You also get a stand so that your console can like stand on a surface. So that's nice to have. Here we have the device itself. It comes in different configurations. I have it with the AMD Z1 Extreme processor, 512 gigabytes of storage and 16 gigabytes of RAM. And of course, Windows 11 Home. Yeah, you heard that right, Windows 11 Home. So the first thing that happens when you turn on the console is you gotta go through the long Windows setup we all know. So you have to write your Microsoft email, everything's gotta get linked, everything's gotta get updated, and one cool thing is that you're able to set your fingerprint so that you're able to unlock it with your fingerprint. It has the fingerprint sensor on the power button. I'm gonna show you right here. After maybe 30 minutes, I'm not kidding you, I think it took like 30 minutes to get into the system, I was like, okay, so I'm now able to use the controls to navigate through Windows, or am I not? No. At least I didn't find a way. I wasn't really researching this that much, but the fact is, you have Windows installed, you try to push some buttons and basically almost nothing happens. There is a button for Armory Crate, but nothing else. You're able to move the mouse with the joystick, but otherwise the buttons do nothing. You gotta use this as a normal tablet. Literally, you gotta use your fingers, you gotta be on the touch screen, you gotta type on the touch screen keyboard and. So the buttons aren't really useful unless you're not in the game. And when we're talking about the buttons, I should probably tell you what's in here. So you have the volume buttons, then you have a mic, then you have a slot for SD card, you have USB-C which you're using for charging, you have your headphone jack, and if I didn't forget anything, that should be about it. And here I'm gonna show you. As you can see, I'm using the joystick, and you'll hopefully be able to see my mouse at some point. There you go. So I'm using the mouse, but if I tap any other button here, really nothing happens. You use this to open your game library, but I think that's about it. No other buttons do anything besides the volume up and down, which we are expecting to change the volume, so those won't work. I feel like I'm only talking about the negatives, but I think that we should really focus on the Windows on this machine, because what it really is lacking is an UI, especially for this device. Because of course, you're able to do anything on the device because it has Windows, so you can install any apps for Windows, you can browse, you can do whatever. But is that something that you want on a game console? Isn't that, so to say, bloatware? Because I get the feeling that it is a bit unnecessary. Now let's talk about another first impression. Is when I took it out of the box, I saw how big it is. But on the other hand, it is very ergonomic, so the buttons are all within reach, the buttons are all very nicely placed so that it is really nice to use and to game on. So this is definitely a good point for them. It is ergonomic and the gameplay is amazing. Also, thanks to the great processor and GPU, you're able to get Amazing gaming experience. You can use ray tracing. Depending on the game, you have to select specific options. So some games will work on high details with ray tracing, some will only work on low details. I've heard there was some issues with Destiny 2, but honestly, the gaming experience and the power this thing has is insane for a console like this. It is quite bulky, it is quite thick, it is really heavy, it weighs around 608 grams, so you're definitely gonna feel it in your hand. But if it's something that's bothering you while gaming, no, honestly, no. Like half a kilogram is not something that would like be an issue. And the great thing we know about ASUS is that they use their RGB everywhere they can. So your joysticks use RGB, so they're very beautifully lit up, as you can see. And it is a joy to use, especially when you're gaming at night. One cool thing about the Windows thing is that if you don't have any other computer, or you are looking to buy a computer and you also want a console to play games on, maybe this is a great choice, because you literally get a computer and you literally get a game console, so that you can basically use it as a computer. You can plug in your mouse, your keyboard, your monitor, whatever, and you're good to go. And you use it like your regular setup, so if that's something that would suit you, then definitely this could be a good choice. The sound is amazing, the vents are working great, although they do get very hot and they also do get kinda loud, but it's nothing that would be a minus, I think. So you are expecting the console to get hot, but to me it got a little bit too hot. I did not really measure this, but I was touching the touch screen and it was almost burning my finger. I was looking at the vents, I was giving my fingers there, and also I got a little bit burnt, so it does get hot. And one final thing to consider, because I'm telling you the gaming experience is really great. And one thing I also wanted to mention, which could be a downside for you, is games are not made for this device. Games are played on this device. So a lot of times you're gonna open the game settings and you're gonna see an Xbox controller, literally with the logo, with everything, and then you remember, oh, yeah, I don't see my ROG gamepad here, but that's just the downside you kind of have to live with. So you have to look at where the buttons are mapped here and compare it where the buttons would be mapped on the Xbox, but it's very similar. So you're gonna get the grip of it very quickly, but that is just something you should consider. Overall, I've talked about a lot of minuses, but I think I've also talked about a lot of pluses. Also regarding the Windows system, and also regarding how great the gaming experience is, how the ergonomic feel is amazing, how you get a really powerful device to play your games on. Let me know in the comments below what you think about a console, if you have tried it out or what you saw in the reviews. Maybe I can address that as well, and I'll try to answer all of your comments. This was a really quick video, so thanks for watching, and like and subscribe to my channel if you like this video and you would like to see more content from me. Thank you, and also thanks to ASUS, who were so kind to send me one of their Ally to try and review. So I hope this was helpful to you, and I'm gonna see you in the next video. Bye!